many things did not happen to me until I started my business. So when I started my business, the first year was a good year. It was a startup year. It was a good year, but it was not a great year. The second year was another good year. Then I decided to do certain things in my business within those in the second year that basically put me on a pedestal where I think personally, I may be wrong. I think I saw my revenue start growing significantly. And I know that it is possible for us to multiply, to triple our own revenue on an annual basis. But how do we do that? It starts with that mindset. The first thing you always want to think about is you have to revisit your plans. You have to think about your plan. You have to look at yourself. And there's something called a goal. What is your goal? What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? What is your apple? Some people call it the apple. What is the apple that you really want to achieve in that year? Once you identify your apple and it's the overall goal, maybe you want to achieve that goal in 5 years, in 3 years, but it has to be something that excites you. Once you know about something that excites you, to some people, it may be their kids. To some people, it's their spouses. To some people, it's that they want to buy a private jet. To some people, they want to do just that thing that fulfills you, that keeps you motivated every time. And when you think about that thing, you go and write it. You have to write it down. I've been doing a lot of mentorship programs for the last couple of years, and they will tell you all the time that when you think about a goal, you have to write that goal down. If you write it down, you put it on your wall, you make it available in places that you can see them, they are going to happen. They are not going to happen just because they are there. But now you start tuning your mindset towards always thinking in direction of that goal. And that happens to many of us. It has happened to me. It happens to many people that I know. So the first thing you want to think about is the goal. Some people think about debt. They want to completely get out of debt because they've amassed a lot of debt. But debt doesn't give you that ultimate because you're thinking about beyond your debt. Debt might be something that you want to do within a particular year, but here we're talking about when you set yourself that overall goal, it's going to happen. Then the next thing, now we're talking about how to triple your revenue. So we want to focus on revenue. I mean, when you're thinking about revenue, whatever happens, everybody here, and I think everybody in every business, when you're thinking about anything about business, the first thing you want to think about is you want to budget what you are going to do. You want to budget it. How is the budget? You want to make a very detailed budget. And it starts, first of all, by you doing a stock take of what happened last year. When you think about what happened last year, where did I go wrong? What did I do well? What did I not do well? You know all of those things, you document them. Then now you can start budgeting based on last year. If I had done this way, this is where I would have been. 90% of people that I meet who prepare budgets, they base on a percentage. They just tell you that I want to increase my percentage by this percent. But that's not the way we want to talk about today. When you think about a budget, you want to prepare your budget early enough. That budget has to be very ambitious because when you have a goal that is already set, that goal is pretty ambitious. You want to set when you think about budget, your budgets have to be also in line to meet it. Yeah. It has to be in line. So generally, when we think about budgets, we're talking about budget has to be ambitious. It has to be achievable. It has to be practical. It has to be exciting. It has to be detailed. It has to be rewarding. It has to be shared. I mean, some of these things, most people last year, let's take our example here, 90% of us here. And I say that I know it. Let's say we made $250,000 last year, or we made $500,000 last year. And for most of us, we did it, maybe we put our sweat in it. But 90% of the time, I have come to realize that there are so many things that we just don't do because maybe we just don't do because for many reasons, which I'm going to talk about them. I'm saying here that if last year our budget was $250,000, our goal, we achieved $250,000, we want to multiply it by 3 this year to make $750,000. And how do we do that? First of all, I said here that you have to put down a budget. You have to make that budget to be very detailed. If I made $750,000 last year, if I make $250,000 last year, and my aim is to make $750,000 this year, how do I get to $750,000? It's not enough to have an overall budget. You have to break that number into a daily income. What is my daily income? What do I need to do on a daily basis to get to that $750,000? And in many cases, what we realize is that most of us, you look at a number, remember that number is achievable. You know, in as much as it's exciting, it's achievable. How is it achievable? I'm going to give you some details on how you think, how those numbers are going to be achievable. But the first thing is about budgeting. When you make that budget on a daily basis, now you want to think about, how am I going to make sure I meet this budget? I meet this budget on a daily basis. One of the things that we have as a challenge to everyone, I'm giving this as a challenge to everyone. Let's set ourselves this budget today. When we set ourselves this budget today, we break it down into those we divide it. Let's say if we are making $750,000, if our plan is to make $750,000, or let's say $1 million this year, then you want to take that $1 million or that $750,000, you divide it by the number of days that you're working. You divide it by the number of days that you're working. If you take $750,000, you divide it by the number of days, divided by, let's say you're working 250 days a year. That means that you need to make $3,000 every day. $3,000 every day. Okay, now the next thing that usually holds us behind is most of us don't keep records. We don't keep books and records. That's a very big thing that is holding us behind. Accounting for us, for most of us, is something that it's just there. We rely on our bank statements. Bank statements are not going to cut it for you. What you need to do, what you need to be able to determine is that in this $3,000, if you already, you need to be able, how many items am I supposed to sell to make this $3,000 a year? How many items? And then now you want to think about what are the different ways I can to meet this $3,000 that I want to sell. When you think about that, most of us, for those of us who have businesses that we're selling out there, if you're able to sell $3,000 a day, that's fine. But most people, you would say, okay, that's a stretch. What are the items for you to sell? In this market, we have tremendous amount of items that we can use to promote our marketing. Promotion is going to be key. If you want to multiply your income by 3, there is a cost that is going to be attached to it. There is a cost. When you see people go and then they go for marketing, marketing is based on targets. And I say this because I've done it. In my business, I know today how many leads I need to have to make a sale. You need to know how many leads you need to have to make a sale. If you need to talk to 4 people before you sell one, then it tells you that. And if every time you sell one item, it gives you $1,000. And you are able, if you know that you need to talk to 4 people to make that $1,000. Then for you to make that $3,000, you now need to talk to 4 times 3 people. And this is some studies that have been done. They are clear. If you meet all these guys who are doing marketing, marketing companies are out there. They are not out there for a joke. They work. They work. They work because I use them. And what happens is that when you get your source of whatever leads that you're getting or however you're doing, just put yourself, you have to budget, because you budgeted income, you have to budget expenses as well. If you put in $3,000, let's say you were getting if you were to put in $50 to get a lead, that gives you the $1,000, or maybe $200 to get the $1,000 that you make a day, then if you have to multiply that number by 3. I mean, this, I am saying this, I say this as a joke, but I'm telling you about numbers. I would have liked to share my own personal budgets with you so that you see how detailed they are. So my thing here, let's set ourselves goals today. Whatever you made in 2023, set yourself a 3-time goal for that amount. That's number 1. Now, if you are unable, if you look, most of us, if we look at our lists, we would see that there are so many things, there are so many times that we just don't go through, we just don't talk to certain people. There are so many leads that come to us, we don't follow up on those leads. But why does that happen? Because we don't have a daily target that we're trying to achieve. We don't have a daily target that we're following. There are many times in my business that maybe I am, at the end of the day, I was planning to get $1,000 on that day. Let's say $1,000. And by the end of that day, I've not spoken to one people. When I talk to people, every time I make a call, I make $2,500. If I have not spoken to anybody, if I've not made that $2,500, I start looking through my list and I'm thinking, oh, this guy was here that I was supposed to talk to this guy, or this person was here. And I cannot tell you how many times that I've called people, maybe at 3 p.m. or at 4 p.m. towards the end of the day. I call these people, and then before I leave my day, I was planning to make that $2,500. I end up making about $5,000 just because I called that one person. And if I did not have a projection on my list, if I did not have any target for that day, I would not have called that person. So what I'm telling you is that if you look through your list, if you have a target, you'll find yourself doing things that you were going to pass on just because you have made a budget that is clear, that you've made a budget and you've put yourself in that mindset that you must implement this budget. I'm not saying that every day you're going to make this happen, but the reality is that if you start following a detailed budget, you're going to find yourself, and you are implementing that budget, you find yourself doing those things, making sure that you meet your target in terms of numbers, and you meet your target in terms of dollars. And in a day that you make far more money than you thought than you had planned, that doesn't mean that the next day you're not going to do the same thing that you planned to do today. The next day is the same thing. You're doing the same thing as if yesterday had never happened. But if the next day you realize that, oh, if by the end of that day you make only $2,000, or instead of making the $3,000, then the next day that's coming, then the following day you have to make $4,000. $4,000 becomes your objective. And at times, I can't tell you how many times I've sat in this office until 10 o'clock, until 11 o'clock, because I wanted to meet that one last client that I wanted to talk to, because I want to make that thing happen. And many times, it is that last client that makes me smile out of this office. So I want to tell you that it is possible. One of the biggest things that is holding us, so implementation is so important. Have a good marketing budget. Get the right people. People is also very key. I mean, for those of us who are in business, you always want to think about the people. You cannot be thinking about tripling your income without thinking about people. The people have to be informed of your budget. You have to make them buy into that budget. You have to make them know how you want to implement that budget. They have to understand how many people what are the targets you're needing from each of those persons in order to make that thing happen. And they have to know how they will also be compensated, because people get excited when there is something in it for them. They want to know, what is in this thing for me? Now I have this budget which is going, now it is all good for you. What is in it for me? And if you want to grow, you want to grow with people. You cannot grow alone. You cannot grow alone. Get the right people. Available, it's not, get the right people, and then make sure you train them. Training is another one. We're going to talk about training. Our problem is statistics all the time. We don't have statistics. but we want to make sure that we understand how our business works. I mean, there are times that I've taken about a month just to get my statistics right. Know the amount of people I need to call. Know the amount of people that I need to buy my business. I know exactly what my business looks like. But for many of us, maybe your business it's not that structured where when you make a phone call, you meet certain people, you know how much exactly you're going to need. In that case, if you are in that case, then you want to understand the stats. Maybe you take you take the next a week or 2 weeks just to know about how your statistics work. So incentivize your team, inform the people of the budget, let them know, let them know that there is value in it for them. What is in it for me? The person, every person you ask us, you're going to ask, what is in this thing for me? As long as they can buy to it, they see how they are growing with you. That's why you are not going to lose people, because people understand that if this thing grows, I am growing as well. You're not going to lose people. Let them know that there's value in it for them. And then use the marketing tools available to you. In my case, I'll tell you what I use. Facebook, I use Facebook all the time. My clients, most of my clients are coming through Facebook. I use Instagram. I use TikTok. I use YouTube. I use Google. If you go there, I make marketing. I have marketing on Google. I have marketing on different platforms. I belong to networks. People come to me from those networks. They come, they're going there, and these networks are not free. All these things I'm talking about, if you are thinking that you just go and speak to on Facebook and people just come to you, it doesn't work like that. Facebook is the largest company in the world, one of the largest companies in the world, because of something called ads. People pay for ads. So if you are already getting organic people coming to you through Facebook, then you want to think about, if I am getting these people already coming to me through this process, what about I put more money in the system and start having more people call me? That's what we do. That's what you should be doing. All these platforms are not just there for social media to go and play. They are there for business. You want to use Google. When you use Google, I get people calling me, oh, I got you on Google. Not only calling me, I have a platform where these people are actually, when they go there, they register, it comes to me, and then we can call them. So we're not doing any cold calling. In our business, we should avoid, the thing that usually kills most people is this aspect of cold calling. When people feel that I'm going to cold call, they get so tired. So there are platforms today on social media to use. X, Twitter, you can use Yelp, you can use LinkedIn, you can use, all these platforms are there for marketing, radio, newsletter, conferences. There is nothing, I tell you, those of you who are in service business, or those of you who are, there is nothing that's going to bring you more clientele than conferences, speaking engagements. You make speaking engagements, go out there and speak to people. People are going to convert into your platform. Why? Because they understand that you are a leader. You understand what you're talking about. This is important. If you want to triple your activity in the next year, you have to know that marketing works. It is not free. If you're working and thinking that it's going to be free, it doesn't work. Your investment, for those of you, if I know that I'm going to put $100 and get a return of $500 or $400, I'm going to do it any day, any time. And one other thing I'm going to tell you, one other thing is that you don't hire, or you don't hire people, or you don't invest in these processes based on how much money you have in hand. You make your projection knowing that as I sell the first one, it's going to create money for the next one, for the next one, for the next one. Many a time, I see this as a CPA. Many a times we've sat here and I see people, they cannot do certain things in their businesses because they are not just courageous enough to be able to take that challenge. You're not able, you're thinking, maybe if I hire this attorney, I will not be able to keep him because he's costing me so much money. If that attorney comes in week 1 and you have a process that's working, you're knowing that that attorney is going to generate this amount of money, that money is going to pay for him. That's the way it works. Your initial investment, that's all you need for the first 1 month, and the rest is going to take care of yourself. That's how you multiply. So think about it as multiplication. These things are not going to come because you were And I want to be with you. And these things are not going to come because you did this, or you were doing this, you were doing the work, and you had some money to be investing. The money is going to be generated by the business. The business people, most people I know, there's a lot of people I know who, when business is generating money, they are taking the money out. For the first 2 years, 1, 2, 3 years of your business, the money is putting back in the business. You're putting the money back into the business to grow the business. If you don't put money back into your business is not going to go anywhere. And putting money back in the business is what? It's taking care of your marketing. Marketing is one of the largest budgets you should have for your business. Then secondly, having the right people. Having the right people, and then motivating those people. If you don't motivate the right people, you're going to lose them. And when you lose them, you keep doing the same thing every year. You cannot grow because you've never been able to invest that money back into the business. So this is very important. And for many of us, that's push. One other big thing that is holding us is we are unable to take action. I see a lot of people in my community. I mean, the biggest thing is procrastination. When they see something that's working, they have to ask 20 people. Business is about gut feeling. If you feel that this thing is going to work, go for it. Go for it. I can't tell you how many people have come to me as they're telling me, oh, I'm thinking about doing this business. I'm thinking about doing that. They've been thinking for the last 10 years. They're only thinking. You have to take action. Taking action is such an important thing, and it is one thing that holds us behind for a long time. Let me tell you, there are so many, if you think in your heart of hearts, there are so many projects or many business ideas that you've had over the years, and none of them has been implemented just because of that little part of taking action. Some people, it's about the cost of it. Some people, it's just because they're afraid to take action. Some people, it's just because they're afraid to start. I mean, I have been thinking about doing business for a long time. I'm not saying this, that it's inert. It's not in other people. It's in all of us. But I was sitting somewhere when I was working for corporate. I was sitting somewhere. Every time I thought, maybe I don't need this. Until I was actually forced to start my business. So basically, taking action is the key. And let me tell you where you take action. There are key things where you take action. Take action on starting things that can mark business is gut feeling. Business is also thinking about return on investment. You think about a return on investment, you're not always thinking about costs. Most of us are so stuck in not moving because our problem is cost. Or how much is this cost? How much is this? A business person's mindset is about what is my ROI? What is my return on this investment? What am I going to get back if I put this down? If I know that if I put $100, I'm going to get $400, that's my margin because I've done my math. If I put $100, I'm going to get $400. I put it any day, anytime. I'll just put it. I don't need to know whether if I put $1,000, give me $4,000. I just put the $4,000. And I can tell you, I've been to so many programs for the last couple of years. $30,000, $30,000, $20,000. I just put the money. I put money in this program not because I want to put money. You put money in those programs because you know what your why is. You know your why. You want to get somewhere. You want to think big. If you want to go big, you have to think big. The biggest thing is about return on investment. What is my return on investment on anything, on these things that I want to do? And there's so, if we were all taking actions on the number of business ideas that have come through us, I am sure we will be at different places. So this is important. I'm saying this because in 2024, we have to start taking action. Doing those things that we need to do in order to get to where we want to go. Investing in marketing, investing in people, it is so, so important in our business. Another one, mentorship. Mentorship. I can't emphasize mentorship enough. When I talk about mentorship, I'm talking about training as well. I mean, whatever you are doing, you have to have a mentor who has won, who is winning in that business. Are we here? When you have a mentor, it can change your life altogether. I say this, I know this, it's happened to me, it's happening to me. Mentorship. A mentor has to be somebody who has won in that thing that you want to do, who has won, who is winning in that thing that you want to do. I mean, a mentor does not have to be somebody that you've never met. We have a lot of mentors that we've never met. We just know somebody who is doing something, who is a big guy on TV. We see him on TV, we start calling him my mentor. That's not your mentor. You're just learning on the back from him. Your mentors need to be somebody who is mentoring you on a daily basis, who is giving you certain things, who is telling you, you have to do this, you have to do this. You're doing some try. He's giving you, based on his own experience. This is how he's done it, and that's how you want to do it. I mean, I was on the last meeting with one of my mentors. I mean, I have two key mentors. And one of my mentors, the last meeting we had, he was presenting his budget to us. And what he told me was, look, this year, and that was something he already planned last year, he never achieved it. This year, he wants to buy that his $10 million jet this year. When he tells you that, your mindset is blown, because this is a man, he's buying a jet. That's his plan. He's multiplying his income by 3 at least this year. And he's going to make sure that he buys that jet. So that jet is now his why. He tells me that whenever he stands at that airport, it just pisses him off. That the fact that he's traveling and he has to wait at airports, it is a disaster for him. So what do you do? In that case, what do you do? So you're learning from this guy. You're getting this. This is a big why for him. And it is crazy how he's structured his time. We just don't manage our time. We have time for everybody. We have time for everything that's happening everywhere. If you take 1 year, 2024, and this 2024 plans to be a very exciting year from every aspect that I'm looking at. If you take this year and you tell yourself, number one, I'm going to get my budget right. Number two, I'm going to make sure that once I have gotten my budget right, I get this thing. One of the things about budgeting that is so important that you have to think about it. A budget means nothing if it's not implemented. Nothing. It doesn't mean a thing. A budget means nothing if you don't implement the budget. And implementation means that you have to have a daily activity like we just said. Once you're implementing everything every day, you see somebody's happy today, he's not happy. Business is about making sure that those things are executed on a daily basis. And what that means is that you have to free yourself as the leader. You have to free yourself and make sure that if everybody is doing what they said they will do, you will meet your budget. No way. And in most cases, you will double that budget. If you do some of these things I'm saying today, you find yourself doubling, not only doubling, you will not only make 3 times what you had made last year, you will make at least 4 times. You will go far beyond it. That's what I'm talking about here. So the key, you have to get a budget, you implement the budget, make sure that what implementation of the budget means that you have to make sure that you're putting money in training, having the right people. Because when you build your budget, it's not only about income. You're looking about what is the cost of making that happen. And remember again, it's not about how much you have in your bank account today that's going to hire that person for you. It's not about it is about the income that's going to come from that business. The business is going to generate the income that's going to pay the attorney, is going to pay the other CPA, all those people that are going to be sitting here in CHN Advisors. This business is going to pay for them. So important. So all you need is that mindset. Understand that if I start this with, I have this $5,000 now that I want to put in my initial marketing, that's all I got. But the business is going to happen. Simple. So first of all, you think about budget, you implement the budget, you think about the people that are going to implement that budget for you. Then you think about number 4, you think about Not only you think about the marketing. Marketing is huge. And when I talk about marketing here, it's not always about buying. You have to make sure your referral process is great. And when somebody is referred to you, following up, your money is in the follow-up. You have to know how your money is in the follow-up. One other big thing that is holding us behind from making things happen is training. Training. So anything that you budget for this year, you have to budget for the training, not only for yourself, but the training of your staff, the people that are working for you. You have to train them. They get excited when they are being trained. They get excited when they are learning new things. They get excited when they can see that this business has a plan. It has a focus. We know exactly where we're going. When people can see that they are going somewhere, they buy into the whole process, and they start doing things that you are sleeping, and before you get to the office, you see everybody, they have done abnormal things, they've studied, they've put in place, because they know that they are growing with you. They know that they are growing with you. So training is such an important part of the business. And your mentorship, my systems, I have one of the best systems in my business today. Why? Because of my mentor. The mentor comes in, he looks at my system and tells me that's nonsense. You have to get this system. I say, I don't have the money. Where is the money coming from? The money has been created by the business. You get the money. You get the money from the business. I don't know if this is making sense. If we are together, please, I need to see something coming on the board so that I know that you're with me. Say yes or no. Yes. Is this making sense to all of us? Is this the type of things we want to listen to here? I just don't want to, maybe if I'm saying something that doesn't meet your expectations, let me know. Anyway, I didn't come here to create any magic for anybody. There's no magic in multiplying your business. There's no magic in becoming a large corporation. The only thing that takes you to where you want to go is a process. It's a process. And when you talk about process, what is a process? A process is basically, there has to be something that you are able to follow. If you're not able to follow anything, you're going to fail. You cannot wake up in the morning and you're sleeping. You don't even know what is going to happen, and you're praying to God. I have one prayer to God. One prayer that I have to God. One. And that prayer is, God, give me health. That's it. That's it. God, please give me health. I don't have control over health. But as long as I have health, I have a process to getting where I want to go. I have a clear process to getting where I want to go. That's exactly what I want to tell our people today. So basically, I was here to tell you that we are not coming here with any magic, but we all got the button to make it happen. We have got the magic stick to make ourselves wherever we want to be. Mentorship. I can't emphasize mentorship enough in this country where the systems exist, where things are there. Get a proper mentor. Don't sit there and start building a mentor that you never meet. My mentor, I meet him every day. We have an hour. We're talking about what we want to do. An hour every day. And the second mentor I have twice every week. We meet them twice every week. And that is not negotiable. I cannot miss it. You know how much I pay for each? Each of them is $30,000. Each of them is $30,000. And what does that tell you? It tells you exactly where I want to go. If he has done it, then I'll do it as well, because I'm implementing the exact processes that he has for me. I'm doing the same things. He did it. He's making multi-million dollars a year, millions of dollars a month. I will do it. Now I'm making my own. I'll grow. I'm getting to where I want to go. But by putting in those processes. Training, we can't talk about training enough. Many a times, we cannot even implement some of the things that we think that we really want to do. Some of the business ideas that come to our mind. Let me tell you, I don't know whether you're watching me from Cameroon, from Nigeria, from Sierra Leone, or from the United States. This is for every one of us, no matter where you are. This is for every one of us. The first 3 years of your business is about putting money back into the business. It's about putting money back into the business. If it's about taking money out, you're missing it. So if you can put in $100 and it brings you $400, then you are in the game. You want to make sure that you know your margins very well. You want to make sure that your bookkeeping is proper. You want to make sure that you know the cost of every income, because there's a cost associated to every income you get. If you don't know what that cost is, then you cannot grow. The only way you can scale is when you know the cost that is associated to every dollar that's coming in. If you understand that, then you know clearly that if I increase that cost, I'm going to increase the dollars that are coming in. As simple as that. It's a very direct equation. So if I paid $100 today to get $400, it means that if I pay $400, I will get $400 times 4, which is $1,600. As easy as that. So use the platform that you have available for you. Then you take action. Many things we are not doing today are not because we don't know them. And I'm telling you, I know most of us here, we understand what I'm talking about. There are so many things that we've pushed out aside because maybe we thought it was too expensive, or maybe we thought and then expensive related to what? When we want to buy our Louis Vuitton bags, we don't think about expensive. That's a cost. That's a loss. That's a sunk cost. We have to invest in those things that are assets to us. Training, making our teams exciting. The more they are excited, the more money they are going to make for us. So if I were to summarize what I just said here, budgeting is first of all starts with the mindset. That mindset that you can do it, you can make it happen. You have to think that it's going to happen for me. It's going to happen for me. When you know that it's going to happen for you, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. It's a mindset. It's going to happen for me. Once you know that it's going to happen for me, there is no way it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So first of all, it's a mindset. Once you're done with that mindset, the next thing now you want to think about putting that into paper. Get a budget for yourself. I mean, if you're sitting there and then you're doing things, you always want to have a second source of income. If you're working for somebody, get a second source of income. And that comes with any project that you think about. They tell you in every book you read, it will tell you that all entrepreneurs are failed. So whenever you're putting something, if you're always thinking too much before putting anything in something, because you want to think heaven and earth, you will think until you retire, thinking. You will think until the day you retire. And then you find yourself thinking. Even after you retire, you're still thinking. Yes. Even after you retire, you're still thinking. So basically, get going. Take action. So budget, implement the budget. Get the right people to implement the budget. Get the right tools to implement the budget. Get the right coaching to implement the budget. Get the right, when I talk about system, get the right marketing to implement that budget. Then take action. Take action. I know I can say this. There have been times that we were putting money in certain things and my wife was like, oh, let's wait a little bit. She's an incredible lady. But I just want to make it happen. Then take action and then train. When you train one of the reasons most people don't get to take action on things is because they are not trained in that thing. If you want to do something, get trained in that thing. There are so many things in this country called America that will make you money. There are so many things out there in Cameroon that will make you make money. Go for it and fail. Then it will be. Then you would have learned up. You can only fail up. You can never fail down. You fail up, meaning that you fail this level. The next time when you're taking it from a higher level to up. Collect data. Whenever you are implementing, you always have to review the process, review people's work. Review. When you have a team, have team meetings at least once every week. You have it on Monday, have it on Friday. You have the meeting where people have to start what they're going to do, and then you get it on Friday. You get a result on Friday. And if somebody's struggling somewhere, get the teamwork to help one another. Teamwork. Collect data. Collect data. Where are your leads coming from? What is the biggest source of my leads? That lead, if my biggest source is coming from this direction, how can I improve? How many leads am I getting from that direction that is giving me this amount? So if I increase the amount of money I'm putting there, I'm going to increase the amount of money I get as well. It is a direct correlationship. Then get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get a real mentor in their line of activity. Then always assess performance. I just said that. Reward performance. Reward performance. Let people be paid for your performance. Let people see, they can see the vision. They can see where you're going. When they feel that you're going somewhere and they can be part of that thing, they are excited. They are excited to help you go there because they know you're going with them. Now, take this challenge and let's work together. Take this challenge. If you made $1,000 last year, let's assume you made $100,000 last year. Take your personal challenge and tell yourself that today, this year, we're just starting, we're still in January. I want to make 300,000 by the end of this year. And if you make 300,000, your objective should be 900,000. And if you make 900,000, your objective should be what? 22.7 million. Because you can do it by doing the same thing in a refined manner. If you implement what I just told you, you're going to see it happen very easily. Easily. Now, I hope this made sense to some people. I hope this made sense to all of us. I hope you've learned how to triple your revenue in 2024. But I'm going to remind you of what we do here. My name is Charles Njoya. I'm a certified public accountant. I'm a certified tax strategist. I'm a wealth coach. And I help people. I help you structure your estate. I help you with building your trusts. I help you with asset protection. I help you with tax mitigation. And I help structure your wealth. That's what we do here. We help you avoid taxes and use that tax in building wealth, in accessing real estate. My typical client buys at least one real estate every year. So if you're out there and you are interested in being part of my team or being part of my program, then you can contact us. Our email is, my website is www.chnc, C as in cat, Hotel Nancy, chnadvisors.com. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on LinkedIn. You can follow us on YouTube. We have a lot, and you can also contact us on all these platforms. We have a great team that's available here, ready to help you, to take you on your American dream. I see that most of the people, we have a lot of people who are seated here, many of whom are even immigrants. And I tell immigrants that you guys are hardworking. You work very hard, but many of us don't know how America works. And the reason we are all living in the rat race is because we don't understand how America works. When we understand how America works, mind you, I keep saying this, we will all find ourselves in the top 1%. I know how to do that, and I can work with you to do that. Thank you so much for today. I hope this was a good session. And please, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions. Did it make sense, people?
Yes,
Hello?
it did. Yes, we are here. This will make a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I have a quick question.
Yes.
Yeah, you talked about those targets and
Can we focus? Can we have a focus on the person who's talking?
I'm right here, but bear with me, I'm off camera.
Okay, go ahead.
I have the little one with me. So the question I had was, so let's say you do all those targets and then you kind of look at your last year. Let's say, for example, I projected that my income was gonna be like I wanted 500,000, let's say, from maybe 250 last year. And then I fell short, like really short.
Yes.
And you go through all those things and you look at what you just explained to us today. What are some of the mitigation skills that you've used before, let's say for something that you projected and you fell short of achieving those goals?
Excellent question. So the first thing when you fall short on something, there's always a reason, right? There's always a reason. And in this case, when you're looking at it, you're looking at the big picture. I didn't get I was planning to get $500,000 this year, or maybe $500,000, or maybe $1 million. I was planning to get $500,000. I only made $300,000 or $250,000. What happened? You start looking, you have to, first of all, before you get into any budget, remember, you have to do what we call stock take. You have to take stock of what happened. When you take stock of what happened, you're able, based on what you know, even without having some of the things I'm talking about here, based on what you know, you're able to say, maybe I didn't get here because of this. I wasn't able to do this. This is based on your own knowledge, on the things that you normally do to get your $500,000. Now, you would have identified that maybe I didn't work. I didn't have a team. I should have, if I had this additional person, maybe I should have had that. That's a solution. You already think about, oh, maybe I need to have that person. Or maybe I didn't follow up enough. Remember, if you read many books, they'll tell you that your money is in the follow-up. For those who do sales, the first thing they'll tell you that your money is in the follow-up. Many of us, we get tired of follow-up. I mean, there are times that I buy things from some people just because of the power I see in their follow-up. There are some guys in this country who are incredible at marketing. They'll come to you 10 times. In some of our systems, we cannot go to somebody twice. We just cannot. We just don't feel we can go there twice. Because he's just, I'm tired, I don't care. That's your money, it's gone. If you cannot do it, get somebody who knows how to do it. Get somebody who knows how to do it. Remember, I just told you that the payment, your fee, what you pay somebody is not based on, because generally we think about, oh, I'm going to hire this person, it's going to cost me $50,000 a year. Where do I get $50,000 a year? All you need to think about is, where do I pay his first month's salary? That's it. That's it. That's it. Where do I get his first month's salary? And in some cases, his first salary is not even there. The first month's salary is not even there, but you're hiring him because of your mindset. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but the key thing, and then now you start looking at some of these things that I just talked about. You start looking at your marketing. Am I putting enough in my marketing? What is my statistics? How much do I need to put in order to get my first 1,000? In that $500,000, in that $500,000 that you were planning to make, do you know how much cost you were supposed to put in there to get it $500,000?
Okay.
Do you know? You probably don't. It was just based on a 50%. Most of the time, our projections are based on a percentage. We just say, I want to grow by 20%. And that's it. That's not a real budget. That's not a real projection. The projection should be based on statistics. It should be based on what you're expecting, statistics, what you're expecting to do to make it happen. Last year, I made $250,000. This year, I want to make $1 million. Simple. Just if I need to put in $2 to make, if I need to put in $50,000 to make $250,000, then if I want to make $1 million, I multiply that by 4. Does that make sense? I just need to multiply that by 4. And then I get there. Today, if you look at me, you will see I'm on multiple platforms. I'm not only there to be doing, I'm not only there to show my face and then be making, to come and do presentations or things like that. I'm there to do ads.
Mm-hmm.
It works. Those things work.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in insurance industry, first of all, you want to get a proper mentor. Who is my mentor? My mentor has to teach me how. I have to know how to get a constant lead flow. How do I get a constant lead flow? There's a process to getting a constant lead flow. It is out there. And there are people not only within your circle, there are people out of your circle that you have to pay to, that you can pay them to make that happen for you. How do I close? How do I do this? How do I do that? Those are the things that are keeping your money. I don't know if this is making sense.
No, it does. Thank you. You touched on it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So that is my thing. And again, I'm telling you that these are scientific. You guys most of you here are scientists. There's a scientific approach to making things happen. Let's learn how to use those approaches. Let's not be too cheap to getting to our goal. At times we are too cheap to getting to our goal because in our communities, generally, we're counting money in people's pockets. Somebody tells you that, oh, this thing is worth, when this thing, you want to do a mentorship program, the good mentorship programs are not less than $30,000, my friends. It's not. Good mentorship program. Because they don't need a lot of people. They are working with a certain number of people to give them the best. That's why it's expensive, because they have to live their lives. So now, if you get a proper mentor, you're going to get to go learn. And you look for the right people, put in the cost. The cost, it is a cost relationship, because they understand that what they're taking from you, they have to multiply. As simple as that. If you're not making money, they are not useful. They are not useful. So they work with you, they make sure that it happens. They put your systems in place, they make sure it happens. So that's it. Any other question?
Yes, I do.
Yes, please.
So thank you so much.
Who is this? I would like to hear your name, please. I'd like to know your name, because most of you are not even showing your faces.
Oh,
what's
okay.
going on here?
I'm sorry. I don't have my camera on. I would have been on camera now.
Okay, please.
This is Liz. Yeah, this is Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Hi. So, yeah, you talk about using social media, and I really like that you brought that up. I want to just ask, like paying for ads and using Instagram. Can you touch a little more on, that aspect of getting leads using social? Because sometimes, like you kind of talked about cold. So you're getting people contacting you instead of the other way. Because so some of us use social media, but we try to contact people using social media. How do you get to that point where on social media people are actually contacting you, where it's the other way around? It's not really me trying to get cold leads.
Absolutely. Cold leads are very difficult to get, and they burn out people. They burn you out. It's a hard thing to do. Most people get burnt out because of cold leads. Like I said before, when you start a business, your first months, years of income is used to build that business. It is used to build that business. It's not used as money to go and enjoy yourself. Because if you enjoy yourself out of that money, it's gone. Your business is never going to grow. When you want to make leads, have you ever heard of social media ads? Do you know how Facebook makes money? Do you know how Facebook makes money? When people go and dance on Facebook, Facebook actually pays them for coming and dancing. You know why Facebook pays them? Because for coming and dancing, or for coming and saying what people bring. If you bring real content, what they call real content is not what you think is real content. Real content for Facebook and for those companies is that it's something that creates interaction, that brings people, that brings that. That's why people, even when people come mute, okay, that's okay. As long as you're not breaking certain rules, as long as you're bringing people. And you see, most of our brothers and sisters, many people are creating all sorts of things to bring people, to create content. And Facebook pays them. Now, Facebook is paying you because you're creating a lot. Facebook today is the largest. It has over 2 billion people on that platform. That's the largest single platform. I think it has even more than that. So what you do is that you have to create ads. Ads, there's a system. If you have a business page, you go to ads.facebook.com or something like that. It is going to give you how to create ads. Now, that is where Facebook gets its money. Facebook gets money from ads. You go and create a Facebook ad where you are basically telling what you do, and you create a filter where people can come and actually, oh, I need this thing. They see you talking about that thing, and then you have a filter. If you just go online and you're talking every day, you have people will just be following you and listening to you and implementing and doing stuff. Now, when you make ads, it is intentional. It has to be intentional. You're intentionally going to market on Facebook because Facebook is the largest marketplace on planet Earth. There's no other marketplace bigger than Facebook. So you go on that platform, you start making ads. When you do ads, you're targeting. Facebook has an incredible algorithm that is so detailed in the type of people you're targeting. The type of people you're targeting, you're putting the money there, and then it's targeting, you go down. If you don't know how to do it, there are thousands of people out in the market who are doing it. Their work is just Facebook. They're just there they're called Facebook marketing. That's why most people, you sit in your office, people tell you that, oh, I can give you 20, if I were to give you 40 leads a day, what would you think? You want to listen to them. Let him tell you, but you don't want to, some of them are just scammers. But once you get the right network and you are able, many people learn how to do ads themselves. They go online and they do their ads if you're starting. So there is a process to doing that. I mean, we do that, I do that, many people do that. And I think you should do that as well. Try it, put some money in there. You put in some money, you will see leads coming to you. Those leads are people who are saying that, I want to talk to you. I need what you're selling. Please tell me. And that's how Facebook gets the money that is paying out to the other people. Is that answering your question?
Yes, it does. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Are we together? I think we have attained the end of our session today. It was important for us to have this, just to talk about this and see how we can go. Did this make sense? If it made sense, I just want people to give me some encouragement now.
Thank you,
great.
Charles.
Thank
Yes,
you.
great. We can listen all day, but thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
I appreciate
good night.
you guys.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you.
Have a
And
good
next
weekend,
time,
everyone.
next week we have another
Thank
one.
you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hello,
Thank you.
Charles.
Hey.
This is Stephanie. I wrote a question on the chat because I couldn't talk at the time, but thank you for what you have said. It's really important. And one of the questions I had is, in your opinion, at what point is the mentorship supposed to start? Am I supposed to get my goals or objectives set up before thinking of who is the good mentor, or can the mentor be used to adjust or set those goals up?
The reason you go to a teacher is because you don't know how to do it, right?
Agreed.
You go to a teacher because you don't know how to do it. You're coming to a mentor and telling him, look, I am there. I don't know how to do this thing. I don't know how to do this thing. And this is where my life is. I want to put in my effort to doing this thing. Can you help me? It has to be somebody who is doing what you're doing. He's winning out of what you're winning. And he's made himself available to do coaching and mentoring. Don't go to somebody who doesn't have time. Go to somebody who has a plan, who has a clear-cut plan on mentorship. They are all out there. There are coaching groups out there. They are all for this. If you want to grow your business in this country, one of the biggest areas to grow is mentorship. It's called coaching.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Charles.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question before I leave? Hi, Uncle B. Hi, Sylvie. Hi, all of you. You guys are amazing. Next week, the same time, we have another great topic. We'll be talking about these things on a weekly basis. Thank you, and you
Okay.
all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, please follow me on Facebook on all these pages. You'll see a lot of material on there.
Mm.